Oh God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Why did I do this? Why did I put myself in $100,000 in debt? I'm already in debt for the car. Why did I put myself in debt? Give me some money.
You know what we're here for today, Kenny. A couple hours ago, I asked you to watch that video. It's the same thing I watched a live stream on Boogie2988. Now, you didn't know who that was. You know, you asked me if he had like a basement leak. I'm like, no, this one didn't have a basement leak. This is I think probably a lot worse. What's your takeaways from that, Kenny?
Yes, I quote him. Yes, give me your money. That's flat out, right out begging. I mean,
yeah,
and and
well, he's trying to be cute about it, like
just,
and
then kind of jokingly, but he's dead serious about it.
Yeah,
the way he said it, it's like, yes, give me your money, yes.
So one thing that you told me earlier, Kenny, which was weird, was he talked about going to put down the deposit on the car. Okay, so he's going to put down deposit on a $100,000 vehicle.
$100,000,
and then
right?
You know how he started crying and whining about how he maybe didn't have the money to pay for this. And I said, Kenny, that's kind of silly for someone to go out and just decide. Now, I've been on spending splurges. I've maybe bought too many clothes or too many games, but then I'm like, oh man, it's gonna hurt. I'll have to like cut back the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
You don't splurge and go out and buy like a $100,000 vehicle.
Yeah, really. What are you going to cut back on? Rent, mortgage? I mean, that's your biggest expense.
So he talks about the deposit, but he leaves out some things. He didn't talk about how much he put down on the deposit.
Right.
Now, have you ever bought a new car before? What's typical like percentage you put down on a deposit?
I would say average 10%.
10%.
If you put down, say, if you buy a $3,000 car, $500. So that's a little over 10%, but it's probably 15%.
Okay, so
let's
let's say
on your credit though.
So on this car, let's assume he has good credit. So you put down maybe 10 grand, 15 grand on this, like straight up.
Right.
Okay, so you put down that much on it, and I would say, Kenny, if you're the kind of person, and I've looked into his financials a little bit as far as I can, like I'm not a PI, I can't look into it a lot.
Right.
But it's just common sense. If you're the kind of guy that's going to go out with your buddy, I think he said he went out with McJuggernuggets, which is another YouTuber. If you're going to put down that much money on it, I think you're fairly aware that you can probably afford it.
Right.
I'm going to say that this guy, even though he sometimes comes across as being a stupid teenager, he has his whole shtick and everything. He's different, by the way, Kenny, if he's in interviews than he is on the channel. He's all, woe is me on the channel, but he likes to brag when he's in interviews. I saw him with H3, which is another YouTuber, and he's bragging about how much money he makes and all that. This person, that's a different Boogie. So there's multiple. Will the real Boogie please stand up? So there's multiple different ones.
Right.
What you got here, I think, is actually a con. I'm starting to think this is a con. Maybe a little bit more insidious than the basement leak scam that Metal Jesus was pulling. There's multiple layers of this. I mean, I don't think we have enough time because he's talking about Tesla, and he gives a lot of this away, Kenny, which is surprising to me. You'd think he'd be smarter to actually hide some of this, but he's
because when I was figuring out about how much he quoted how much he made on Twitch and then YouTube, and his mortgage. He even said his house was a $140,000 house.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm trying to figure all this stuff up. Something just don't add up.
And we're also assuming that he's being truthful 100%.
Yeah, you would assume so.
Yeah.
And I picked up on something else too, because when he was talking about the guy trying to sell him the car, he says, "You're going to save in gas. You're going to spend $8 to fill this up." And he said, "Yeah, I might need that extra cash, $30,000, 2 to 3 years down the road." What's going to happen 2 to 3 years down the road? Is he expecting? He said he's going to need that extra cash 2 or 3 years down the road. I don't know if you picked that up. That was in the early part of the video.
Interesting. Now, what I was looking at is he talked about it, and I may be off base here. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there. Okay, let's say there's a lot of things that we don't know about this. Okay, I'm assuming he's buying it, not leasing it. All right. I'm saying there's some kind of freaking sweetheart deal with Tesla, and he admitted as much as that, hey, brace yourself, there's going to be a lot of Tesla ads and Tesla stuff going on.
They promote it on
They
YouTube.
promote it. Now, you checked out that video. Here's a funny thing, and I'll get back to what I was talking about in a minute. Kenny checked out I forget the channel of the link, but he was like, why does this guy get so many views and so big? He's only got like 100 or so subscribers. I said, no, that's not the channel. It's just somebody that re-uploaded it, Kenny.
Yeah.
He has 4-point-something million subscribers. Okay, this is a pretty prominent YouTuber. All right, he's not quite up there with with your heavy hitters, but he's pretty prominent. Mm-hmm. All right, Tesla sees this guy, and maybe he's not the only one they're doing this with. Mm-hmm. We might see a whole trend because he said Tesla's looking for YouTubers and looking for ways to get their advertising out.
Yep.
What's to say maybe he doesn't have a sweetheart deal that he gets to maybe drive this Tesla for so many years, but he made a deal with them to constantly promote it on his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Because that the S version, what he say was $33,000. That would be more likely what he would
probably buy regularly.
I would think. But this X series, $100,000, something ain't adding up. You are right.
Well, he actually said he said this. Okay, this is really rich. He said, "Don't be jealous of me. Don't be jealous just because I have a $100,000 car." So he's trying to steal. Believe it or not, Kenny, he's trying to steal like an Angry Joe. Try to be a common man.
Yeah.
Or sorry, if you're going out to get a Tesla X, you're no longer the common man YouTuber. Mm-hmm. That's what's sickening here to me, Kenny, is he's basically clearly trying to make himself seem like just one of the fellas, one of the guys.
One of the guys with an expensive car.
See, there's multiple levels of con here. Not to mention, of course, he was overweight. Now he lost the weight. He has the whole sympathy angle. He's basically built an empire on his channel out of sympathy. It's a sympathy empire.
Right.
Okay, you can see how this would be really, and a lot of YouTubers are really licking their chops looking at this because he's building a framework for other YouTubers to follow.
He's got some nice chops, as a matter of fact, like you said.
Yeah, they shine in the dark. Those things are pretty freaking scary, And Kenny, I did a Google search for his estimated net worth, and I'm sure Google don't have it 100%. It's just a rough estimate. But the rough estimate is he's worth $1.7 million. Okay. Comparison, Angry Joe's worth $1.5 million.
Right.
Okay.
That's for 1 year, right?
I think, well, no, that's just estimated worth.
Right.
I looked into it on Social Blade. My estimate is on YouTube probably making... I half-weighs it usually, 7,000 to 8,000 just on ad revenue. Okay,
Gotcha.
Put that in perspective. Now he's got all these sweetheart deals with Tesla, with other people. I think he's got deals at the wazoo. Believe me. All right, so he's got the deals, he's got the ad revenue, he's got the Twitch money.
Mm-hmm.
The Twitch money alone should probably pay for the car payments.
Yeah.
On top of like whatever else he's got going, he does stuff all the time. But so there's estimated net worth. Check the Social Blade. Other people can probably look into it further than I can. But you have an angle, you have a scam where right there he's basically like he said, please give me money for the Tesla.
Right.
And like I said, this is just something that I can't help but be thinking that there's something beyond what he's telling us here.
Right.
How dare I say he's not 100% honest here? But I just think there's something beyond the surface. And a lot of times with something like this, outright, it's kind of disgusting. This guy who's clearly beyond upper middle class, from what he makes, this guy is, essentially begging people for money to help pay for his Tesla X. Here's $3, Boogie. This might help you with your Tesla X. Okay, that's disgusting. Okay, but I think there's a lot here that maybe we don't know about. I think there's a lot here. I think, like I said, I think there's a sweetheart deal with Tesla, and I would like him to actually come out and openly reveal the deal with Tesla. Hopefully if I and other people keep uploading and put some pressure on this person, because this is something, and listen, here's why we do this, Kenny. When we see something like this happening on the platform, we are trying our hardest to stop this kind of stuff from happening. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the basement leak scam, whether it's the whether it's many other things, whether it's John Hancock with his museum scam, I believe you should call out scams and scammers regardless of the situation. So I'll give you the very last word, Kenny. What do you think about this situation? And do you think Boogie will actually come out, make some public statements? Do you think people are actually going to keep the pressure on Boogie?
I think people will definitely keep the pressure on Boogie. And no, I don't think he'll come out on it. He's got if he has a free car or if he's buying a car, we don't know. The truth will come out the truth will come out.
And will the car be shiny pearl white, just like them chompers?
Just like they're nice and white as could be, you know. Wow.
What are you laughing at, Kitty?
Oh, that thumbnail that's on there.
Oh, you like that thumbnail? Yeah, that was like one of three. I sometimes make multiple thumbnails. I'm like, I went with that one. You know, it's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that thumbnail is appropriate for his screen name. It actually looks like he's picking a boogie.
Huh? Oh, yes. The way his finger is.
He's going right for it.
Yeah. Maybe that's how he got the nickname.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!